Ay, 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 part 3. It's late at night. It's... What is it? 1:30? I don't know if I'll be able to sleep, but who knows? I'll try to, I think. I don't know. But yeah, like... I'm sorry if I went off topic. Oh, no, not if. I really did went off topic. Like, Jesus. I kind of been saying how the inspiration got with me writing stories. And I said it was from movies and commentary from and stuff and all the directors I look up to. I did say why, at least that simply in the first video. But crap. I really wasn't much writing a lot when I was like at that time when I started to drop out of college basically. But I have like, though in college though I continued my the anime I said that I was trying to make. And this is when I was like in high school too. Like I tried to do a project where I write the story. That was the thing. Because we had to do this thing in high school called a senior project. And it's basically, the senior project is like, basically, I think if I remember correctly, it's something of a thing I want to do, like getting out of high school, or a profession I'm doing, or like an impossible task or something I have to do, that I have to do, like describing my like experience and my journey and my process of doing so. And the worst thing is, yes, I didn't focus on it a lot. And that was really the problem. I didn't focus on it a lot. I didn't do much writing of the story a lot. I don't know, I think mainly because I overwhelmed myself with so much work. And did I even do the homework? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. But I honestly like slacked on it a lot. I was like zero motivation on myself at making the story. But the thing is, like, I didn't have to just do that. I had to learn like a bunch of stuff with the story. Like what would go well with the senior project. And it was basically doing an essay thing, like the history of manga. And did I do good on that essay? I did have help, yes. I had help by a lot of people. A lot of people helped me do that essay. That essay, or is it an essay, or is it like a paper on it? I think that's the same word. Oh no. But I had to read like a bunch of books, and I have a really kick-ass culinary teacher that helped me, and he has like, I don't know, I wouldn't say that the other one he gave me was manga. It was technically a comic book, graphic novel basically. The other one was a manga, and I didn't finish that manga. I think I didn't finish it. I just read the other one because I found it so damn interesting. So he gives me like these collection he had, because he helped me out. He's cool. he gave me graphic novel called Mouse and Barefoot Gen, and these were like things that I like wanted to read. Honestly, it was interesting. And if anyone doesn't know Mouse is a this I think this graphic novel series. I think there was only 2 books I saw that he gave me. I don't know if there was more. I'm not sure. I'm not certain. I think there is. I don't know. And he gave me that Mouse, and then there was Barefoot again. And I think that not think, like, they were both like war heavy books. Like, I think, yeah, the Mouse was during like the Great Depression, right? Where the Nazis like took like all the Jewish people to like these concentration camps. But the style was like the and the people who were Jewish, they were like mice, they were like mouses, like rats or something, basically. And the Nazis were cats. And like, that was such a weird thing, because I didn't know if I should say it's racist or not. But then again, the writer is of that descent, and he was talking to his father when making those books, because his father would tell him the stories about those days when it was hard to be Jewish at that time, because of the Nazis like were like evading. And it is a freaking like sad, it was depressing like story. Like, I was like so hooked on it. Like, I was hooked reading this manga. Not manga, it wasn't a manga. I wouldn't count it as a manga, but it's a graphic novel, so you can say it's a manga, but it's not made from in Japan, so you can't say it is a manga. But like, I was so hooked on that like graphic novel comic. I think it's a graphic novel. Yeah, I think it's the right term to say. And it was interesting. Like it wasn't because of like how he drew people into like being being like rats or mice or mouse or a mouse, and then the Nazis like cats and all that. Like, it's not like that was the thing that interested me. Like, the thing that interested me was like hearing this guy's the writer's like father's stories about what happened during this wartime period. And it was like compelling. It was great. It was interesting. Like you can argue to say that it looks cartoonish, but honestly, it's brutal. Like, it's graphic. Like, it was real. It's like, it doesn't sugarcoat anything. It just depicts the harshness of what these people went through during those terrible times. And it was like, I couldn't put it down. Like, it was like terrible to look at and read. And I didn't stop reading it, but it was like so like brutal. And honestly, I want to look away, but honestly, I didn't, because it was still so interesting to like listen to the story and feel for this person, this guy living in this awful time, and how he survived and how he got through it. Like so like impressively. Like, seeing all the people that sadly passed and sadly got hurt and died, but seeing how he survived and everything, it's like really like so like brutal. It's so hard to like read it, because you wouldn't know how these people went, how it was for them, and hearing how it was bad for them, you start to like feel bad, and you feel awful and hate that time happened, and they had to live with what shit they had to go through at that time. And yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not good with words. I apologize. And it was very interesting to read. Like, it was like a history book of someone's experience about what happened during this the Great Depression. And I I thought that was pretty cool to, not cool, but that's messed up to say, but pretty like interesting to hear the history of what happened through someone's eyes. And I was like not focused on my story that I was writing, and I was more hooked on this. And it just ended, like, there was like, it just stopped, because I think the creator's like father sadly passed before I guess he could get more from him about what happened, and he couldn't finish it, I guess. And and that is what I've wanted to hear more, like if his father was still alive. I mean, like, not really, because like it's kind of like you don't want to hear more about how brutal it even got, or how much worse it got that time. Like, you don't want to hear that again, but I kind of want to, because I feel like it would be it would be interesting to hear more stories of from someone's perspective of what happened, and not just because what you hear in history books. And and that was like interesting, and that was the only one I finished out of all the books that my culinary teacher gave me. and and that was pretty good. And I'm not sure how much work I put into my essay, but I think I did somewhat of a good job of like doing, because I had to find sources, and like people who do like studies, or like analysis of character analysis, or story analysis on these books, on these comics I have in my possession, that helped me out. And the difficult part is putting in your own words, obviously, but you know, it was kind of simple, kind of easy. And I read a bit of Barefoot Again, but not that much. I think Barefoot Again got more graphic, because it's now just human characters being drawn. And I don't know if I'm correct, but I think the person who wrote Barefoot Again is the same person that made Astro Boy. I think it looks like the same style as Astro Boy, but I'm not certain, so I I can't even like think that if I'm right or wrong, but I think it is the same creator, the same guy who created Astro Boy. And that manga was pretty rough too, and it really got very, very uncomfortable to read, honestly. And I don't know, there was an underage girl being stripped and hurt and abused, and I found it uncomfortable that you could see everything on her, and I'm like, oh, no, 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 no. That is not right. I think so. I don't know. That's what I think I remember from that. It's a hazy memory. And if I remember correctly, Barefoot Gen is about these people after and before and after the bombing of, was it like when a bomb, what was it, Hiroshima or was it Nagasaki that was blown up? I think it's Hiroshima, I think, and these people survived it, and they're trying to go and get through what has happened to them after the explosion, the attack, and everything. And I think that was what it was about. It was pretty interesting also, but I never got to finish that much of it. But I still got to learn a lot about it and talk about the history of manga, talk about it with the manga I have possessed in my hand, and have to go and describe everything about it, get my sources and link the sources that I have, and check out like all of them and read them and list out what's important, trying to like not like go off topic or make it like a mess, because I need to make it at least accurate as possible. To not accurate, I mean like at least organized as possible. And I think I wanted to at least make sure it is perfect and not amateur. So that was technically the main goal of what I was trying to do with the essay, and that was the main thing I was more focused on than my senior project. Well, it is part of it, but I was more focused on that than my story, which is not a good sign. Even when I tried to write it, I still felt like I couldn't do anything great with it. Like I still couldn't do like any form of significance or difference to it to make it better. Kind of like it was like my biggest mistake or peeve to me, that I couldn't accomplish what I wanted to finish. Because already I was jotting down the characters, describing what they are like, describing what they do and who they are. I've made like crude, like terrible drawings that I made of them that I still have to this day. And I wrote like descriptions, like what the story is about, what's my goal, what's the intention and focus I'm trying to get at, or message I'm trying to put across in this series I'm trying to make. And I was trying to like do everything in my power to try and make my series to sound, not, it's like I'm selling it, like I'm trying to make it sound like I'm pitching an idea to someone at a studio and why they should give me like this amount of money to go and make it. It's basically like what I was trying to do. Actually, like sell it. That's basically what I'm trying to say, is like, let's freaking try and sell this series and hope they bite and take it, and hope that it lasts for like more than one season. And that technically worked. I was actually trying to do that, and I wrote it, made like a PowerPoint. Yet the problem was I still didn't write the story. It was still a difficult process. It was me trying to like think big, think about narrative, think about story and whatever in this short amount of time. And it was not going well. I was just like blank. I was just not doing well at all. And it took a toll on me that all the work I was given in each classes that piled up on me, including trying to pass history because I failed on that and I had to go and do like makeup, like work on history so I can like so I can graduate from high school. And that was like something I had to do by myself on my own. And I was determined. Like, I did not want to fail high school. I did not want to disappoint anyone. I was determined to try and be like responsible and try to take action. And then I did. Yet the project didn't go well as I planned it, but I think I actually did my best to say like, okay, this is what happened, and this was my difficult process of what I had to do, and this is what I have accomplished over the course of this entire school year. And they liked it. As much as I didn't complete the story, sadly, they liked it, and they were telling me what I learned from the situation is that how difficult it is to write a story, and its process of it won't just come to mind easily, and that it takes a lot of hard work and patience to try and perfect something, and trying to focus and try to work in the process, and knowing that there's going to be a lot of things distracting you along the way, and you have to push through those things and try and overcome it and try to finish it. And they liked what I said about it, and they gave me a passing grade, of course, and it all worked out kind of fine, actually. Not with my English teacher, I think, because he was mad that I didn't do a practice presentation at all. Yeah, he was not amused with that, and he did not like my style of presentation I did, how I did it, how I achieved it. I was, but that was the only time I started working on that story, and I did it a second time at college, but still nothing that I have that I accomplished in finishing it. That's honestly my biggest flaw. I cannot complete things. Like, I can't complete my work, and it just falls apart, and it's left collecting dust. Yet, I should finish it. I mean, the anime story idea can wait until I find, like, a certain amount of people that are interested in making this story with me, that are interested in trying to, because I wanted, like, people to work on each individual character of the main characters of the story. Like, I would try to focus on Yuji, and everyone would go and come up with ideas with the characters from the story that he meets, the girls that he meets along the way that are in his harem. And he doesn't enjoy being in a harem. He's not fond of it. He just doesn't care. He's in a point in his life that he doesn't care about his life anymore because he doesn't feel like he's never gonna live because he only sees himself as a pawn in someone else's story, and he doesn't want to be a part of that. He wants to at least be someone and not just some guy that has to go and find a girlfriend and then she will give birth to a protagonist basically. And and that's basically what I wanted, is someone that doesn't want to become a tool and just actually want to be someone important. And he doesn't have that courage yet, and he just feels like there's nothing he can do to change his destiny, so he just runs away from it. And I wanted a lot of people to actually try to flesh out the girls in the anime and try to create them and try to do something interesting with them that I think they can do better than me. And that's what I'm trying to look for, is like people that would like to work on it with me and try to create something cool. But I never brought it up. I never knew who to trust and who to say, like, hey, like, can I trust them with my idea and I hope they don't steal it? Like, I've only said like a little bit about my story, and I didn't say a lot of things about it, but if someone does steal it, then crap. And then I hope that that person actually does a better job at it than I did. And yeah, and I really hope that one day that will happen, but so far probably not. Well, that's basically it of me, why I wanted to be a writer. It honestly is just me, this hopeful boy wanting to make something interesting in movies, something that no one has ever seen, or something that people will say go ooh and ah and like and have an interest in it. I said that that movies in cinema, like in Hollywood, they're terrible. They're nothing but remakes, reboots, or whatever. And I want something different. And so far, people are doing original movies more, and that's good. I'm glad that there are more original movies that people are making out there, and I'm happy for that. But I still feel like, could I be something better, different? Ice once told me that he thinks that, he said to me, and I don't think he believes this anymore, but he said to me, like, you have that determination, you know a lot about movies, and you know a lot of things that that are important and have interesting ideas that are different that no one else can do in movies or cinema that people wouldn't dare to make. You could be that change in Hollywood that people need. Someone to wake people up and do something different and interesting that no one else could do. And I appreciate what he said, but it is a tall order, and it doesn't happen out of poof magic. This amateur kid, this amateur freaking adult that came out of high school and shit, just comes in and has an idea. Like, I felt like it's impossible. Like, there are people out there that write scripts and send them to Hollywood and put them in that bin, and people will look at them to see if it's worth making a movie out of. And I think that does exist. Does that exist? I don't know if it's exclusive for only screen professionals, or like anyone in general that wants to have their movie made by someone. I don't know, but I heard that is a thing that exists, that you can write a script and then take it to Hollywood, and then they'll put it in this bin where they would take out a script and see which one would be great for a movie. I'm not sure if that's real. I hear it is, but I don't know if there is an exclusive thing that you have to be professional or whatever. So I don't know, like, if I could actually do that. I'm not saying I'm Tarantino. Tarantino learned on his own accord with movies when he was working at a rental store. And me, I just watched YouTube videos of him or people that talk about film or analyze film. And I try to get a basic idea of learning that by myself when an opportunity arises, when I see a recommended video for me to watch that involves movies. And like, I don't know if I would be that change, but if I do become that change, that'd be cool. But who knows? It would be an interesting thing to see, because I still had that hope in my mind that I would be striving to be a writer, striving to actually have a published book or something out there. And Tellum does know a publishing company that we can do that. And I really do hope that it's still open, like that door is still open for business for us to do that. So fingers crossed on that. But you know, looking back, I have been like through many stages, through many phases of writing, from just pictures to fan fiction to just like imaginative creativity of writing, and then burning out because he just made too many ideas that he can't even remember what he created, to stories he can't even finish. And it's a bit of a downer that I never accomplished or finished any story for a long time. And it's really harsh. I don't know. Maybe my motivation kind of left as soon as I left high school, and college just took my toll down further with not giving me any motivation, because I usually had friends to motivate me, like, you can do this, you can totally get up and finish it, I have faith in you and I believe in you. I do still kind of get that, but you know, it just never clicked in my head to do anything productive with the writing I have made. And I had many, and I just didn't fell through with it. I still felt like I wasn't confident enough to write again, but maybe I had a slow confidence and a slow time to, at my own pace, to actually write. And it honestly came to me when I took a break from social media for a week. I didn't write a lot, but honestly, creativity opened my mind. Making a video of Kamida as Patrick Bateman from American Psycho was pretty fun to do. I thought I would never have thought of that idea until it clicked at me, saying like, dude, we should do this. And that was pretty fun to do, and I didn't care that if a lot of people watched it. I just loved that I made it, and I edited it and completed it, and just oh my god, I just enjoyed what I made that day, and it was so fun. I just loved every second of it. And I was trying to write again, but nothing did good for me. I tried to, but things just got in my way emotionally, basically. But that was fun to do. That was actually great to do, and maybe I hope one day I can be creative again. And that's the thing I don't want to die from adulthood, is that imagination. Being imaginative, being creative, like with your imagination and all the things you can come up with, keeping that mind fresh with weird ideas that only you can ever think of, is something I want to keep alive. Like that kid with crazy ideas that were so insane that you wouldn't want to think of as an adult. But it's something I would never let go of. Like, I can suck at making names for characters and story titles and everything, but I will always have like some interesting idea if the inspiration comes to me, and that won't stop. Like, I will always have my brain open to imaginative and creative new things I can think of with in my head. And I would love to keep doing that. Even if I don't write the story, I would still have the idea written down somewhere on my phone or on my notebook or journal, and wonder if I will go and write that instantly, or just, you know, wait until I have a better uh structured idea for it, instead of just like, oh, and this and that this and that thing. And it's something I will never change about myself, is being imaginative and creative and being like free to do what I want in my mind with the ideas I come up with. And I never shared a lot about it with anyone that much. I guess I'm honestly, I'm too secretive of stuff I do. Too much trust issues I have with people, and it's understandable because I have a lot of people I don't usually trust anymore, because usually I get betrayed and they use things against me. And usually that's why I keep being secretive and shit. But I say that it was nice to talk about me trying, why I like to be, why I want to write, why I want to be this writer that, you know, usually in cliche movies they never do their writing and they're always like down on their luck and jobless or something. It's just fun to be imaginative, to be creative. I don't want that to die. No one wants that to die. People love to make ideas and ideals they have, and create new things that no one else thinks of but them. And that's what I want to keep with me. And that's why I really hope that one day I can succeed on it. I still have that hope in my heart. What's left of it, honestly. But, time will tell. Shaping the future, that how we make it with the actions we do in the now, in the current time. Anyway, I think this has gone long enough, and part 3 is finally the last part. And this was nice to talk out, like, why I want to be a writer, why I am interested in doing things that I want to do to succeed in. So, will I do more videos like this when I'm not in a mood of playing video games or editing videos? Probably. Maybe. It depends. But, thank you for listening to me rant and being stupid and revealing a bit about myself. I just need to say something and talk about something and do something that's, I feel like I hope people would hear and listen to. Anyway, I'll see you guys sometime, who knows. Ciao, darlings.